What's new, everyone? Hey, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Got a request to do this song, and I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. A couple things that are interesting about the song is that at the end of each section, there's a setup for a minor 2-5-1 because the 2 chord is a minor 7 flat 5, and the 5 chord is altered because of the flat 13 there, and I also put a flat 9 in. But it doesn't go to a minor chord. It goes to a major chord. Now, I'm going to play the opening chords of this song a couple of times, and I want to see if you can hear the difference. I'm not sure it'll come across with my recording equipment here, but let's just see if it does. So, first time, and second time. Could you hear a difference? I hope you can, because in the first chord, I just kind of played everything, with equal weight on every note. And the second time, I tried to emphasize the top note and a little bit of the bottom note too, so that my 5th finger is really the strongest and everything else I'm trying to keep fairly soft. This is called voicing a chord. And I think this is something that jazz piano players don't think about that much because, when you're playing in an ensemble, you just gotta, you play a little bit more forcefully than maybe when you're practicing at home. But if you're playing a ballad or really any time you're playing chords, I think it's a good idea to, know what notes you want to bring out, and it's usually the top note. So I'm trying to do that on all these chords. See, like right there, I'm playing these 2 notes. I could have played it like with that loud C in there, but it sounds much better if I make the top note louder and the bottom note softer. And kind of the same in the left hand, but the bass note is the one that you want to bring out a little bit. It's stronger anyway because it's a bass note. Bigger strings, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now how do you accomplish this? I know of 2 methods. There's the Suzuki method, which is like, you move your fingers like this, and for the top note, you want to grab it a little harder like that, and with the bottom ones, you just move your fingers very gently like this. So a way to practice that would be to hit the top note, hit the other notes that you're going to play very softly, and listen to the sound, then play again, trying to do that. So first note, second notes as soft, and then. Now, I wasn't quite as soft as I wanted to be with the thumb, but you practice like this very softly, and then really grab that one. And then there's the Vladimir Horowitz method. I don't know if it was a quote by him or an interview or I don't know something, but I always think of it as him. Make the 5th finger stiffer. Just make it harder and stiffer and relax the other ones. And kind of lean over that way. See? So either way works, or even a combination of the 2 ways. All right, let me bring my chart back up. This is out of New Real Book 1, and of course the chart's down there in the description, as well as a link to PayPal and Patreon if you want to support the channel. Okay, let's play the song. Little reharm here. And then we end on A flat major. Going to G. What does it say there? Oh, sharp 5. Okay. I'm also going to link to another video. It's by a guitar player. And I think it's called like How Jazz Musicians Think Through Chord Progressions or something. But he says, and I totally agree with him, on all these chords, if you see a number that's greater than 7, like B flat minor 9th there, or there's an 11th chord, or there's a 13th chord. Just make that number a 7 in your mind, okay? So B flat minor 7th. Actually, the melody note is the 9, but even if it wasn't, the important thing is the basic 4-note chord. And many times you can add a different extension, a different 9 or a different 11 or 13 than what the chart actually calls for. And it just comes through experience and know-how as to when to be able to do this. So when you get to that B flat minor 9, just think B flat minor 7th. And then many times, it'll say like E flat 7th with a flat 9. The most important part is the E flat 7th. And many times you could add a regular 9 or a sharp 9. And it kind of depends, if you're playing with other musicians or with a big band or whatever, how far you can stray from the original chord progression. Now, if you see the flat 5 here, you have to do that, right? Because it's not a D minor 7th. It's D minor 7 flat 5, and it's a different chord. There are 9 basic chord types, and this is one of them. And here we have G7, and I've talked about this recently too, is that when you're improvising, you kind of aim for those cool notes, like the 9th, the 11th, the 13th, whatever fits on the chord. So for instance, on D minor 7th, I hit the 9 there, and then I hit the flat 9 there, and I hit the 9 there, and it doesn't really sound very good because it says C minor. It doesn't even have a 7th there. So I would do it maybe like, add the 9th, but it's really not a 9th because there's no 7th. So we'll call it the 2nd. We added the 2nd to it. It's just a way to kind of, color the chord a little bit. You could also add the 11 there too, and I guess we got to call that the 4. And let's jump down to the bridge now. So there might be a cool way to get to that bridge. Well, we could go. So what did I do there? I want to do 2, 5 to F. All right, thinking of the new key of F, that's the 2. All right, but how am I going to get to that chord? Well, I can start with C major, the relative minor, walk it down, maybe use a tritone sub here, and then another tritone sub. So that's kind of called reharming the reharm, reharmonizing the reharmonization that you started with. So I wanted, what did I want? Yeah, it says C sus to C. And that's the same as a G minor, really. But I did it that way. And here we are in the new key. It's really, everything's exactly the same here. Little reharm there. And then, flat 5, gotta do it. Ooh, I like what I just did there. And this is one of the simplest ways, when you have that tritone right there on a dominant chord, it really suggests that you just do the triad, F sharp, because that gives you a great jazz chord. So the same progression will take you to 2 different places. You can go like, and end on D flat major. But there's a reharmonization technique that when you're on the 1 chord and I'm just thinking of this as a one chord now, that a substitute is a tritone away. And this is not tritone substitution. This is a different rule. To go from a major chord, a sub for it is a tritone away, a minor 7 flat 5 chord. So why couldn't that rule work in reverse? I see the G minor 7 flat 5, and I'm trying a major 7th chord, a tritone away. I don't know if that'll work in a variety of spots or what. I'm going to certainly explore that in the days to come. Oh, sounds cool, but why does it not sound right? Need the third. I like it. Right. And all during that last part there, I was definitely thinking about bringing out that top note. So, I mean, this is a kind of a classical technique, but I think if you listen to some of the really great jazz players, you will hear them do that also. And, I'm thinking about maybe ballads by Bill Evans. Maybe you can suggest a few to me in the comments. All right, thanks very much, everyone, and I will see you again directly.